Hey guys, welcome back to Honeycomb, and today we're going to be reviewing these sneakers. These are the Nike AirMax TW SE. So we already did an unboxing for this sneaker. If you wanted to see that, then it's in this video. We'll leave one in the comments down below and maybe put a card up here. Here, one of these. Card up here. So if you want to see the unboxing for these sneakers, we actually did another video on those, and it's called something like Hacking the Nike Sale and how we got these for a ridiculously good price. I think it was $40, $50 for this particular pair of sneakers. Now, considering that it's like a $200 sneaker is a huge deal, huge savings, and we teach you how to do that in the same video where we unbox them. So see that in our page. While you're there, you can click on subscribe and notifications, that helps too. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below. But with that, let's jump right into the sneaker and talk about this. This is the Nike Air Max TW SE. SE stands for Special Edition, which means that there are a few different features on this sneaker, but for the most part, with the exception of some changes to the materials, which make it a more elevated sneaker. Other than that, it's pretty much the same as the regular Air Max TW. So if you're watching this video hoping to learn more about the Air Max TW, hopefully this will be helpful to you as well. For the most part, it's the same. Kind of a brief on the sneaker. This is kind of in the line with Nike's annual Air Max releases. Every year they release a couple of kind of the next iteration in the technology of the Air Max. So Air Max 1, of course, is the first one, and over the years we've had many different ones in 95, 96, 97, then they changed the naming convention. Now we get the Vapor Max, and then I think the year that this came out, we also got the Scorpion, which was 2002, last year. So this sneaker first came out last year in 2002, and as a result, we're able to get them now at really good discount prices, which means it's a great time to be able to do a review or to pick them up to know if they are any good. So hopefully this helps you make an educated decision in your buying. Now, let's talk about this sneaker, starting with the outsole. Now, the outsole is really interesting. It does one of my favorite things that Nike does, and the Air Max 2 Lite, I think, was the first one I saw this on. And that was them calling out the PSIs and the different materials that they use on the outsole. So here you have, it says dual pressure heel, high pressure, and then here it says low pressure air on the outsole. What that means is that there are essentially two chambers to the air unit, and we actually have it on a little drawing that they included here. But it's easier to explain just showing on the sneaker. So let's talk about it. You have here, it says dual pressure heel, high pressure. So it's high pressure out here on the outer ring. And then it says here, low pressure air in the middle. So the blue one is low pressure. What that does is that as your heel comes down on that, on this air unit, because you have lower pressure in the middle, your heel will kind of sink into that spot. So the reason why they do that is because that lower pressure unit means that it'll kind of send your heel towards the middle. And so you have this nice kind of outrigger of stability of cushion on the outside, but a softer cushion on the middle that allows you to, let's just say, make mistakes, right? And your heel can kind of be corrected in the way that it lands on the sneaker. It adds stability and cushion at the same time. Nike's been doing this for 30 years now. Is it 30 years since the first Air Max? No, 25? No, 30 years. This was on the Air Max 2, which would put it around 1990, I'm not sure. So 30, 40 years, 40 years, 40 years, 30 years. Now the outsole on this thing is all of this black and blue rubber. And then the white that you see peeking out, that's actually already foam. That's not just any foam, it's Cushlon. So it is a very soft, and if you press on it, it is a nice, soft, cushy foam. But I do want to show just how thick the lugs are on this sneaker. And it's actually pretty rare these days to be able to find sneakers with outsoles this thick, because usually they're trying to reduce weight. But because this is kind of inspired by running, as opposed to be an actual runner, thick lugs make it easier for you to walk on more aggressive terrain, but also increase the durability because it's like a serrated knife. Those lugs are going to take all of the damage of your walking throughout the lifespan of the shoe, which is why you can have exposed foam, because it's like a full maybe 2.5 millimeters behind that lug system. Gonna last you a long time. And that's also an effect of having a very soft midsole. So let's talk about the midsole, since we've already talked about the air unit. The midsole is Cushlon, and it is very soft. It's very familiar if you're used to wearing something like the Vormero 5. Cushlon, it's a great foam technology that is kind of the carrier foam for this air unit. Now the air unit is massive and it's really cool. Big bubble. I love that style of the big bubble. Popping out in the back, popping out in the side. In fact, here on the little card they have included, they kind of show the AirMax Scorpion there. And I think it's very similar, the undulations of the air unit kind of peeking out from the sneaker, reminiscent of that original AirMax 1 big bubble where it would pop out, or even the AirMax 95 where those bubbles would kind of extend out the side of the sneaker. If you're an old head, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And this sneaker is kind of in tribute to those sneakers. And it's one of the things I really like about the AirMax CW is that it pays tribute to a lot of the legacy of Air Max, a lot of the innovation that is being made in other sneakers without being overtly copies or kind of cut and paste jobs. Instead, they've put it together in a nice, sleek, pointy package, which is one of the best sneakers of last year, if you ask me. Now, moving up to the upper, the main body of the upper is made of this very tightly woven mesh, which is very similar to the meshes that you see on, say, an AirMax 90, but it's much tighter, which means that it has this more pearlescent look to it, which is a very nice touch. Now, this feature is only on the SE. The regular ones have like a light mesh over it, which is probably more breathable, to be honest. Although breathability was not an issue for me. Now, another feature that appears on this sneaker that doesn't appear on the regular one is suede. So the regular one has synthetic leather. This one has some natural suede on it. Hits on these overlay panels, but the kind of leather on it is synthetic leather, right? So like the regular not suede leather is synthetic leather. It appears here on the toe. Basically, that's all the blue parts on the sneaker. It is a nice like short hair suede, and it's great. Now you do also have that short haired suede here on the heel counter area. This creates stability for the sneaker, and then above it, you have some nice ribbing. Mesh again on the collar going into the inside, the lining of the shoe. And then the lacing system is a speed lacing system, which is great. So that's kind of a tribute to like the AirMax 95, which kind of pioneered these speed lacing systems where you just pull it once and everything cinches up tightly, quickly. Cool mesh on the tongue as well. And then that speed lacing system is blue and yellow, which is a nice touch. It adds a little bit more dimension to the sneaker. TW AirMax logo on the tongue seems like a tribute to that era where you had the AirMax TN. Insole is this Durapontex bright yellow insole. On this particular sneaker, it has kind of this graphic of the schematic, how they designed, I think that's the AirMax 1. So again, a lot of tributes to legacy in this sneaker. So that's about it for the materials on the sneaker and kind of how it's built. Let's talk a bit about the performance and putting it on foot. How do they fit? They do fit true to size, if not a little bit loose. However, even though there may be a half size big, at least width-wise, I wouldn't recommend that you go down a size or go down half a size in this sneaker, because the entryway here in the collar doesn't stretch at all. So it's kind of difficult to get your foot in the first time. It will stretch out a little bit over time, but I don't see it stretching out much, because it's gonna be tough to get your foot in if you're the wrong size, if you're a size down. I'm gonna recommend that you go true to size so that you can slip your foot into this shoe and you won't have any problems. Once they're on foot, they are pretty comfortable. The thing I do want to call out is that this kind of step down, where you see this blue call out for the Cushlon over there, where this shape is, where it drops down, you feel it. So you definitely feel that air unit underfoot the first time you put them on. And if you like high-heeled shoes, like, you know, like not loafers, like dress shoes, like they have a little heel and there's quite a bit of drop, You definitely feel that on these sneakers. I happen to like that, but I can understand if other people would find that a little bit disruptive maybe. However, I did also notice that after about 2 to 3 days of wearing them, it tends to flatten out a bit, or to smoothen out a bit is probably a better way to say it. As that air bubble gets a bit more flexibility from it being bounced up and down, it kind of smooths the transition between the air bubble and the Cushlon altogether. Now I imagine that they probably could have gotten rid of that by using a less cushiony foam, right? So if you had a more dense foam here in the toe, less marshmallowy thing here in the toe, then that would kind of even out from the air unit. But the Cushlon's really nice as well. So, you know, it is what it is. Now these sneakers, you don't really see them in store anymore. Most of them are online on the Nike app or Zalora, different retailers online. So it is difficult to be able to try them on in store. If you can, go ahead. If not, I will recommend that you do go true to size. Do I like them? Style-wise, it's got to be like a 7.5 out of 10. These things are gorgeous. Instant classic with the exception of that it wasn't really publicly picked up, which might be a good thing for you. Very few people will know what sneaker you're wearing. It will be a cool Nike AirMax, but you know, it's a if you know kind of sneaker. Also, like I can see the camera through this air unit. Like it's incredible. If you are enamored by AirMax technology, then this is something that you can really get on board with if you like it. And for me, I think that this is fresh looking, a great pointy toe, gorgeous silhouette, 20% recycled, mesh. What else can you ask for? Cushlon, AirMax, and I got it at a great price, so how can you complain? All right, so that's it for my review of the AirMax TW. If you have any questions, do leave it in the comment section down below. I would love to hear what you have to say if you picked them up and you have your own comments about them as well. Let me know in the comment section down below. I wish you guys good luck, good health, great pickups. Peace.